Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, November 22nd, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Well, since the holidays are here, just a bit of housekeeping that we will not be producing a DNB on Thanksgiving or Black Friday, but we will still be putting out the daily news email. I'm cooking a turkey on Thursday and eating the leftovers on Friday. But now it's time for the news. So, shall we? Not a surprise at all, but Delegate Dana Jones has announced her candidacy for Maryland's 30th District Senate seat, aiming to fill the vacancy left by Congresswoman-elect Sarah Elfreth. Jones, who has served as a delegate for 4 years, stated in her announcement, "I have been able to deliver results for our district because I prioritized collaboration while building trust with my colleagues in the legislature." Now, the seat is not up for election. The Anne Arundel County Democratic Central Committee will make a selection and send that selection to the governor for appointment. Other names that we've heard that are in the mix include Delegate Shanika Henson and Annapolis Alderman Brooke Schandelmeyer. And in city election news, Will Cunha has entered the race for Ward 8 Alderman in Annapolis, with the election scheduled for November of 2025. Cunha's campaign focuses on transparency, community safety, and sustainable growth. He advocates for increased public input in municipal decisions and plans to enhance neighborhood safety through improved lighting and expanded watch programs. Cunha also supports policies that modernize the area to benefit local businesses while preserving the city's historical charm. He's having a launch party tonight at Forward Brewing, and fun fact, he is the co-owner of Oscar's Coffee, which is right down there at Horn Point Marina, and a wonderful little coffee trailer. Just a warning for you, as colder weather approaches, there have been an uptick of vehicle thefts, particularly involving unlocked cars with keys left inside. Stop doing that. Lock the cars, take the keys. Now, drivers may be tempted to leave their vehicles running to warm them up while they finish their coffee, but this practice makes cars easy targets for thieves, especially when you have visible exhaust signaling an unattended running vehicle. Some bummer business news. Annapolis Bridal and Tuxedo, the very first bridal shop in the West Annapolis community, has announced that it is going to close its doors after nearly 40 years in business. Owners Flavia and Dora expressed gratitude to the community for its support and shared their decision to retire and spend more time with family. The shop will continue to fulfill final alterations and accept tuxedo orders for events through December 23rd. A closing sale is currently underway with all inventory available for purchase. I know my son rented several tuxedos for proms, and I got a few for weddings back in the day. Sad to see, but I'm glad Flavia and Dora can have some time back to themselves. The Annapolis Symphony Orchestra is doing something different and will present its annual Holiday Pops concerts at 2 locations this December. Performances are scheduled for December 13th at Maryland Hall and December 14th at Severna Park High School during a matinee, which actually has a larger auditorium. This is the first time a matinee show has been added. The program does feature holiday classics and innovative symphonic arrangements, with Annapolis native Catherine Sanford Schrock as the featured soloist. Tickets are available through the Annapolis Symphony's website with discounted student pricing offered, and I will suggest that this always sells out, so make sure you get your tickets early. Okay, it is Friday, so we need to check in on some events this weekend. Tonight and tomorrow, lights and leashes at Sandy Point State Park from 5 to 9 p.m., allowing visitors and their pets to stroll through the Lights on the Bay display. No cars allowed. Lights on the Bay for the cars will actually run nightly beginning Sunday through January 1st. Also tonight, the Grammy Award-winning Parker Quartet is going to be performing a free concert at St. John's College at 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow, the Turkey Gobbler charity pickleball tourney takes place at the Pip Moyer Rec Center. That goes from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Over at Art Farm Studios, they're offering a bookmaking workshop from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Watermark's Jolly Express cruises begin. They offer 45-minute holiday-themed water tours weekends through the holidays. As for me, I'm going to go see comedian Paul Mercurio and his Permission to Speak show at Maryland Hall at 8 p.m. There are a few tickets still available for that if you're interested. And sliding into Sunday, acoustic guitarist Jesse Cook performs at Maryland Hall at 7 p.m. And I do have a pair of tickets for some random person that reaches out to me if you're interested. You want to be sure to catch our local business spotlight this Saturday at noon. This week, we speak with Jane Cease, who is the executive director of the Anne Arundel County Literacy Council. And you can always tell when I'm really into an organization or a business on these local business spotlights, as I always have a lot of very pensive pauses and I come up with random questions. Today on Canines and Crosstreks, we meet Piper, an 8-year-old Pit Dalmatian mix, which is a really unusual and beautiful combination, who is just the sweetest thing around, but she has been at the SPCA way too long. You want to listen to our spot now and then check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon for some irresistible photos and get all of the information on how you can adopt her. And again, don't forget that we have our daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We send it out to your email inbox at 7 p.m. every night. That is 366 days this year, all without a paywall. It is perfect for keeping up with the weekend's news since we don't release a DNB on Saturday or Sunday. And right here is a link for you in the show notes, and feel free to pass it along. Okay, that's it. Now it is time to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world, and if we do, please leave a review somewhere or tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and Macmedics. It's Friday, the weekend is here, now it is time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, and keep shopping local. And check out that Annapolis Christmas tree. It's up, but not decorated yet. Now you want to hang tight because DCMDVA Weather is here, bringing the only locally forecasted weather report, and then Canines and Crosstreks. All of that's coming your way in just a minute.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Macmedics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Macmedics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. Macmedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Macmedics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Macmedics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Macmedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, November 22nd. Today will be our first cold, raw, wet day in a long time across the Annapolis region, with some rain and possibly even a few wet snowflakes mixing in, but skies will clear tomorrow through next Wednesday, with warmer temps through Tuesday, and then comes Thanksgiving Thursday, with conditions looking fairly good on the whole. Look for mostly cloudy skies today, with some rain likely, and possibly even a little wet snow, with temps only in the low to mid-40s, with winds gusting out of the west or southwest at 25 to 30 miles per hour at times. From there, the expectation is for mostly sunny skies this weekend, with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s Saturday, though winds will still be gusting out of the northwest around 30 miles per hour at times, with a nicer day Sunday, with lighter winds and PM highs in the 55 to 62 degree range. As for next week, look for mostly sunny skies Monday through Wednesday, with highs around 60 degrees both Monday and Tuesday, followed by 50 to 55 degrees Wednesday, ahead of upper 40s to maybe lower 50s Thanksgiving Thursday with mixed skies and a small chance for a few showers. Okay, that's it for today and this week. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day and weekend out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless, because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Crosstreks. Sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
You guys are doing a great job of keeping these conference rooms smelling nice. It's been a week and it still hasn't even
back-to-back weeks.
How about that?
Impressive.
See, Jimmy and Catwoman are behaving. They're using
Great
their
job,
litter box, and they're not.
I think it's more that the SPCA is moving more of their animals to the new facility.
That could be it. There's less being housed in all these other buildings, so now they're going to the main building.
That's true. Well, here we are for Canines and Crosstreks again, obviously down at the SPCA in the old building. We're excited to be able to get into the new building fairly soon to check that out. We haven't
maybe
been
next
there.
time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
wait, that sounded promising.
Maybe.
I think she might.
Maybe.
Apparently, Billy, we're treated downwind of the dogs.
That is so not true.
Like, you guys stay in the old building.
Hey, the dogs are very, very important here. So
they absolutely
if you're
are.
actually where the dogs are, you're pretty high up.
They absolutely are. Well, I am seeing spots on this dog's ears.
I know. How cool is that? All right. So this is Piper. So Piper is actually a Dalmatian Pit Bull Terrier mix. And you can kind of see it mostly on the ears. But if you look closely on her body, you can see the little Dalmatian spots underneath too.
Yeah,
cool, right?
She's got the little pit kind of stature.
Uh-huh.
But the ears are totally Dalmatian.
Oh, yeah. And her face is kind of shaped more like a Dalmatian.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a longer face than the smushy pit bull face.
Yeah.
Now, does she have what are the Dalmatians? Are they blind or deaf?
Deaf.
Does she have hearing issues?
As far as we know, no. She seems to hear great.
So she got her hearing from her pit bull dad or whatever.
So she's 8 years old and she's considered a medium-sized dog at around 50 pounds. She was adopted, but then she came back to us in March. She's super friendly with people, loves to take walks and just likes to be around people. She's a little bit picky when it comes to other animals. So we are suggesting that she goes home and, it would be the only dog just in case she decides she doesn't like the dogs there.
How is she as far as people go?
With the people, she's very friendly. We are doing 13 and over for kids just to be safe. But, we've never had any problems with her with kids.
She's not some of the animals that we've seen that are just very particular about who they want to adopt.
That's right.
We want to go
about
with
Jimmy.
Jimmy is particular, as we all know.
How is your showroom looking, man? You getting all ready for Share the Love?
Yes. Started yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited.
So how many cars you sell? Trick question, huh?
A few.
But you guys sell a lot in December, right? I mean, do you get the rush in of, it's the end of the year? Like me, I came the last day of the year, but
yeah, it all depends. It's the Share the Love event actually does draw a lot of people into the store, which is cool. We're busy pretty much the second half of November through the end of the year. So with it being, the days between Christmas and New Year's being the busiest.
Yeah.
But is it kind of, if it's the end of the year and there's some cars on the lot and stuff that some car dealerships may be willing to wheel and deal?
we're always willing to wheel and deal.
Always.
Kelly.
I know. 12 months a year. It's like kitten season.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
all the
it's,
time.
you know, it's
But
yeah, it's no, it's it doesn't. The incentives really don't change much. It's a lot of times it's because that's when people have free time to do stuff, or they want to get it in before the end of the year.
And they
like
can do it.
Yeah, exactly. They had a good year. They. And a lot of times in the winter, things can happen with people's cars and, heat
snow.
stops working. They're like, oh, why am I going to?
Christmas bonus rolls in.
Yeah. Christmas bonus.
See?
Exactly. So there's lots of reasons why.
This is Billy's time of the year where he's coy and say, hey, so what's the goal? Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's that? How many cars is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sort of like Kelly asking when we're getting in the new building.
Yeah, same thing. See?
Yeah.
Now you know how I feel, Billy.
Yeah. Beginning of next year,
We'll
you'll
find out at the end.
Beginning of next year, you'll find out.
You'll know when you know.
Yep.
Well, I am going down to Lights and Leashes tonight because I'm going to a show at Rams Head tomorrow or at Maryland Hall, but I'm excited.
It's going to be fun.
And you got it all set up, right?
We are all set up and we are ready to roll. And of course, we're doing it 2 nights just so that way people, can kind of come in and park. In the past when we had it one night, it was always a little bit of a challenge because of parking spaces. People might want to spend a little bit more time. And we have some great food trucks coming and Santa's going to be there and it's going to be photos with Santa. So we're hoping everybody comes out and does their holiday card while they're there.
That will be fun. And then come back with your car afterwards because Lights on the Bay starts on Sunday.
That's right.
So and you can get tickets in advance or buy them at the gate. I mean, it's not so critical to buy them in advance now because we're out of COVID.
That's right.
But you can learn more about that at lightsonthebay.org. And I think there's probably little coupons that are rolling around for.
There are. Yep. Our sponsors have them where, I know that Subaru has some coupons and then also Growls Market has them.
Okay.
So,
If you want one of my coupons, so you have to buy a car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Subaru's, they're launching, I think yesterday they launched their new YouTube series with the race car drivers in Pastrana. Oh gosh, what's it called? It's called Launch Control.
Okay. I've heard of that.
And so they got 10 episodes. It's sort of all behind the scenes with the whole rally circuit with the Subarus and inside the cars and all the cars that none of us are allowed to drive.
No, not street legal. Not legally allowed
I
to
want
drive.
one. Why can't I have one?
But it's all about Subaru Motorsports and I guess all the hopped up cars and everything else. So it's kind of interesting.
That'd be cool.
I know when Pastrana did the jump over Ego Alley, and it was the Gymkhana series and stuff like that, where he's screaming around downtown.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was pretty wild. And how is Share the Love going? Oh,
we're 1 day in.
We already talked about.
We were 1 day in.
That's true. We already hit it.
It's going good. It's going good though.
You know what I love about that is that your staff gets into it, but I'm sure your staff gets into everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like share the love.
Well, Billy rallies everybody too. I think you.
But it's easy to get people behind. Something that's such a great cause. Yeah, and typically the causes that we support, like the SPCA, CASA, Blue Ribbon Project, Chesapeake Bay Foundation, they're all things that are near and dear to a lot of our employees' hearts. Yep.
But I think it's so great that you guys, take that local charity and you take the hometown charity and you find out, and you really seem to really dig deep to what their needs are.
Mm-hmm.
It resonates.
Yeah. Yeah. We have we had Taylor from,
Blue Ribbon
Project come in this morning actually and talk to the sales team about what the Blue Ribbon Project's all about. Gave us a great backstory of his and the story of how he got into starting the Blue Ribbon Project and then what it's become now and what this money is going to go towards. So it's pretty cool. It's very powerful stuff. So we're very excited to be partnered with them, and hopefully we can pull through and sell a bunch of cars.
Oh, don't give this hopefully stuff. You do this
it's gonna happen.
Every single year. You guys hit home runs every single year.
It's gonna happen. Well, John, don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it at all, man. You guys do such an outstanding job of that, though. You really do.
Well, every year I feel like we're not. So that's the secret to not.
I think that's human nature.
Yeah,
I think it's human nature.
End of the year.
Here we are.
Yes, whether you're adopting
Come on.
animals or selling cars, the end of the year is always the time to reflect. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Are you still doing the oil change thing too?
Yeah, $5 from every oil change is going to go towards our hometown charity as well.
You know, and again,
Awesome.
$5 helps.
It sure does.
It
There you
really
go.
does. You know, and I'm excited because we're starting to get in. I'm a little bit stressed and excited that we're getting into the holiday season now at this point. I mean,
It's here.
we're close to December at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's close.
Thanksgiving's very late this year, which means that the difference between Thanksgiving and Christmas is like very, very short. But I love seeing the SPCA's Facebook page with all of the kids doing different things. I mean, I know last week, I think you had the kids from like Lothian or down South County that were giving things. And, you know, you're starting to see the giving season and, you know, helping out the SPCA. And I would recommend that anybody that, you know, if you're looking for a late tax deduction or whatever it may be, if you're, you know, feeling generous, AACSPCA.org. And, you know, certainly let's give a shout out to the Blue Ribbon Project because, I mean, they can use it as well, blueribbonproject.org. And actually coming up pretty soon for Annapolis Subaru, it's not really an official Subaru event, but you've got the winter concert from the school.
Because the instruments guys help.
December 11th, I believe it is. Yep.
So you'll have next week, you'll have to give us, wouldn't that be cool if we could like get a whole 500 people showing up and the principal's going like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You have to get the details for us next week.
I will.
I'd like to go see that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
See all of the clarinets and the oboes and the trombones and the
trumpets,
Did
violins.
you give them one of the big sousaphones?
They got to pick their own stuff.
I don't think little kids play sousaphones because the instrument's bigger than the kids.
I don't even know what a sousaphone is, John.
It's a different type of a tuba.
Oh, okay. Those tubas, they're so big.
I mean, technically, I think the sousaphone is the one that sort of kind of wraps around you like a snake that has the big, huge thing.
Okay. Like they do in the marching bands?
Yeah.
The college marching bands? Yeah.
But I think tubas are also a little bit more compact and have like a lot of tubing that sort of sits in front of you, I think.
I remember all the kids when we were in elementary school or junior, and I was in the band, they could never take their instrument home to practice because it was just too big to lug around. So
yeah, it's true. Some
drag that tuba home.
I think a sousaphone might be difficult to fit into a Crosstrek.
Yes, I could imagine that.
Probably get it into the new Forester.
Okay.
I think so. That's a pretty big.
The Forester
and I don't
more
think they come
square.
apart like the little piccolos where they, you know, or the.
We've had people bring in their. We've had people bring in their cellos.
Really?
That's a big instrument too. Well, the cellos could
their
work.
Car?
They bring it in when they're test driving the car.
To make sure it fits? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it can fit in an Ascent.
Well, that makes sense. Can you imagine getting
They can fit everywhere. I mean, the seats fold down. So, I mean, they'll fit in anything.
The cases are pretty big.
But you got to make sure it's safe.
Yes.
And everything else. And instruments are expensive as
they are.
They sure are, as you know.
They are.
So what a difference that made for those kids.
Yeah, we're excited.
Again, Lights and Leashes debuts tonight.
It'll be fun.
And you do have another opportunity tomorrow.
That's right.
Annapolis Subaru will be right there at the front gate. Look for the cutest little girl dancing with Santa Claus. And, ask her for some Subaru swag. And
so she dances with Lucky. And she.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. It's Lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Lucky. Yeah. But
Lucky's going to be there again, all right?
Of course. Yeah.
And with Santa, she just, I think she just likes to mess with him. She likes to mess with him a little bit. She likes to try to grill him to see if he's the real Santa. You know, she's a little skeptical.
Skepticism is good. Lightsandleashes.org is where you want to go for that to get tickets, learn a little bit more. Check out the sponsors that are there and really support all the sponsors that help these animals because it really does help out things. And certainly Annapolis Subaru is the one of the lead sponsors there with the bright, shiny car right as you come in. That's and light name and lights and everything else. So, and you know, best way to thank them and the Blue Ribbon Project would be to buy or lease a new Subaru if you are in the market between now and January 1st.
Yeah, sharing the love.
AnnapolisSubaru.com, 149 Old Solomon's Island Road, AACSPCA.org, and Piper here. Very unusual, cool markings, and it's like the body spots are kind of like the subliminal. That's not the word that they use, but I mean, you see some like football uniforms that have
they're kind of like faded,
faded spots that are in there.
We got to get out of here. Jimmy just stunk up the joint.
Oh no!
Only at the SPCA, right? It wasn't an accident. He used his
did
potty
it where
as
he was supposed to. Maybe need some more litter in there. Like a little light. Someone donate some litter to the SPCA.
We always need litter.
Jimmy.
Jimmy. What are we going to do? All right. Well, we will see you guys tonight at Lights and Leashes. And hopefully we'll see a bunch of other people tonight and tomorrow for Lights and Leashes, where you can walk through Sandy Point State Park, or Lights on the Bay, which starts on Sunday.
Sure.
And that really kicks off the holiday season, which I can't believe is really here. So
it's here.
So
Yay.
we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.